What's going on there, fellow YouTubers? It's Chris from the Msss Anomalies channel. Alright, guys. It's been a few days, almost a week that I've put out a video, but that's okay. We're trying to come up with the, really do some research under a lot of these photos and the fakery and so on and so forth. But, alright, guys, I've got this one here is from Apollo 11. I've got two photos. One is of, it shows the command service module, or the Columbia, from Apollo 11, and it's also got the Eagle, which is ascending, going up, coming from the moon up to the Columbia itself. You guys are going to find this pretty fascinating, because I've got, this is just weird. A lot of people claim, hey, you know what, Chris, we've never been to the moon. That's highly debatable. And the reason why I say that is because from what I've seen in several of these photos of the moon, and it shows what, the astronauts with the moon buggy, there's definitely there. Now, if they want to superimpose anything on these photos, that would be an argument too, because if it's superimposed, guess what? Well, then they clearly haven't been on the moon. However, there is an LRO, the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. They have taken several, I don't know how many thousands of photos of the moon, and you can bet they put a really good camera on it. In other words, just like they do on Mars with the high-rise camera on or aboard the MRO, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. So just like that, satellite, or you got several orbiters. You got the Maven, so on and so forth, the MRO from Mars. But you've also got the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, orbiting the moon, and it's not the only thing that's ever taken photos of the moon. It's mapped out the moon quite well, in fact. So even if we were to debate that, as far as like the men not being on the moon, that's fine. Everybody's free to believe what they want, but then they're really zooming in on these things, and you can clearly see them because there's structures everywhere or some kind of mechanical something or other on this lunar surface. But what I'm going to show you guys is some photos, and here's another argument. I have people telling me, hey, Chris, you know what? This doesn't make any sense, man. I've got a, some of them are sarcastic, be like, hey, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to go out and get yourself a telescope. Well, I've looked through a telescope. I'm not stupid. Now, first of all, any ground-based telescope, meaning something that the civilian has, not something you can go to an observatory and look through. If you got something, you're not going to see the super fine details, meaning close up to that lunar surface. But I have had people say, well, you need to go get your own because you're seeing things that are clearly not there. Well, believe it or not, after doing a lot of research in this, they're correct. That's right, they're correct. However, they're wrong too. Now, let me explain why. When you look at this particular photo, I've done this video about this particular area. This is from physics.org. New radar images uncover remarkable features below, keep in mind, below the surface of the moon. Now, if you read up on this, and you guys can go back to this, I'll show you this real quick, because I did this video here. Radar images of the moon uncover remarkable features. This is what it looks like when you get the photo. When you click on this photo, this is what it looks like. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing a lot more details on this than I would on a standard standard telescope. Let me get something to drink here. That would help. Okay, so when you see that, you go, okay, yeah. I am seeing a lot more detail. Now I'm going to get itch in my throat and I won't be able to talk. So, anyway, I'm looking at this thing and I'm going, all right, well, this makes a lot more sense to me. And when you look at this area right here in the middle of this Sea of Serenity, and here's your Posidonius crater right on the right hand, or at 2 o'clock position, depending on how you turn this photo. But in this particular photo, it's at 2 o'clock roughly. Look at this. This looks like complete, intelligently made city. Now, when I enhanced it, this is what it looked like. Look at all of these little things in a row on the tops and see how they're shiny at the top of it. These are not craters, these things you see here. They're not. Now, again, if you guys want to watch this video first before you watch this one, it'll all come clear, real clear to you. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm going, all right. Now, the argument, like I said, stands with these guys. They're saying, Chris, I'm telling you right now, get yourself a telescope. You will not see the detail. You guys are just seeing things you want to see. Okay, well, this wasn't my photo. This was taken, from radio telescopes. There's one that received here in West Virginia, the Grand Banks, I think, radio telescope, and it was transmitted from Arecibo. So, and this penetrated the ground 33 to 50 feet in the ground. Now, I did a side-by-side of what people would typically see through their telescope, and here it is. Now, do you see any difference in detail? Mm-hmm. And what I also pointed out was either something on the moon is creating this obscurity or obfuscation, call it what you will. Check this out. When you zoom into this, now I don't care. Now check this out. You're going to get this, check this, watch this. See this manipulation, you start to see all the artifacts and everything else, but check this out. Let's just back up just a hair. Look how smooth and how this looks like it's airbrushed in. See that? So now, and the funny thing is, a lot of these, I've watched a lot of people's, people who do a lot of telescope time. I watched a lot of videos, and it looks like that through their telescope. And I'm going, that is just odd. But this is it. Here's Posidonius crater on the right, and here's the one on the left photo showing the same one. Look at the great detail you can see. Now, is it possible whatever's, I don't know if it's just actual NASA or whoever's putting these photos out, manipulating them themselves, is it possible that these, whatever they are, intelligently made structures are peeking through this ground, and this is the reason why they're covering it, or something's covering it? Okay. Now, you might say, well, that sounds a little far-fetched, Chris, but guess what? When I see that, when I'm going to show you these next couple photos, they look just like this, only they're being passed off as standard photos. That's right, folks. These photos are not standard photos. Here's one right here we're going to be covering, and here's another. Here's your Eagle. It's ascending, and it's approaching the Columbia. And this is, again, this is Apollo 11. You'll get these pictures. And then you've got, you got this one here where they're actually docked. And here's your service module right here, which is Columbia. So, okay, so you got the two of them. Now, one of the pictures I read was like an artist rendition. I'm going, okay, why would that be an artist rendition? And it kind of makes sense, because I said this had to have been superimposed on here, because why does this look kind of whitewashed, so to speak, in the background? And then these look super clear. Kind of doesn't make any sense, does it? So I'm looking at these, okay. But what's crazy about it, see how you can see all these detail compared to a standard photo, which just looks like it's clear, but you don't see nearly this right here. Now, you're going to see a whole lot of this in these photos. Now, check this out. We're going to start with this one right here. Now, for some reason, I got to restart my computer, but I'm not going to do it now, and I can't, for some reason, it won't allow me to actually rotate, as you can see. Rotate, it won't allow me to do it, which is fine, because you'll be able to rotate it yourself when you get it, and a lot of people I know use Photoshop, so you guys will be able to turn this. But this whole area is what interested me. All of this right here totally interested me. I'm looking at that, I'm just going, what? Let me just bring this up a hair bit so we can actually see that a little bit better. This right here, this whole area seems to be structures, a city of some sort. And it actually looks like it has this weird egg-shaped thing on it. I'm just going to pop into it a little bit here. And you can see that. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and enhance it a little bit. And I'm looking at this thing, I'm going, whoa, what the hell? This area appears to be actually off the ground. With this one, it's round, or at least looks pretty round, with something actually like a tower almost coming off the ground. Now, I looked at it, I'm going, all right, well, what the hell is this, though? I mean, this looks kind of round here, but it looks like some kind of weird half dome, but didn't know what it was. I'm just trying to analyze it. Now, I'm going to jump to the next one, and I'm going, all right, check this out. Now, you got to kind of turn your head to the right, because, again, I can't do this. I just realized, I said I got to restart the computer, but at the time, I was like, it just started the video. I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to do it now. So, but check these things out. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these things in a row. You got this, like, ring-like structure, with almost like a circle, and something going like this here. Now, when you go over to here, check these out. 1, 2. These first two are faint, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's all like this weird, almost like a half round, if you will, or a rainbow shape. And it doesn't stop there. Look at these. 1, 2. All of these little things are not craters. They're structures. And you're going to see this a little bit clearer in a moment. But check these things out. They're all over the place. And they look like structures. There's tons of them. And the more you get into this photo, Now, I just blurred this up a little bit just so we can get a better, clearer. I know that sounds, it's like, what? But when you clear it up, you're getting rid of some of the compression, and you're making some of these things. Now, you can see these things that are joined, well, not joined, but see how they're like, what's the chance of craters actually landing like that, or just kind of being thrown together like that? They're not. They're not craters, guys. They're actually structures all over this moon, or this lunar surface. And I'm going to show you some more as this gets, you're going to see this is going to get better. I darkened it up a little bit, but this is what I did. Let's take a look at the raw part of the photo and see what we see. Check this out. Again, this looks like it's high in the air, and that doesn't matter if it's white or not, because here's the thing. You can see it perfectly fine. Has like these two little pieces right here. Okay. I believe we're on here. And just check out all of these little things sitting in. They're all on top. And again, this looks like it's running off like this here. And look almost perfect. This is clearly off the ground. This is not on the ground. This is not a crater. And you can see a lot of those little flat platforms with the little dot or dome right in the middle. There's a ton of these guys. They're all over the place. These, and again, we're not going to see them with any clarity, but check this one out. Again, looks like a weird dome type thing. These are off the ground. They are not in the ground themselves. Okay, so let's jump to this one. Now I'm going to go back because I actually lighten this up a little bit. And check this out. This is where it gets a little more bizarre. Look at this. I don't know what this is, but you can see where they tried to fake it out right here. This, whatever this is, looks like an omelet somebody flipped over, or at least half of it. But check this out. Kind of a roundish thing here, going like this. You see where it actually stops, goes in. But check that out. And when you, like I said, you got to kind of turn your head to the right, but there's this structure things. And like I said, you guys are going to get these photos. And in fact, I still got the other photos to put on. I haven't done them for my last video because I've been extremely busy. This is the reason why I haven't been able to throw any videos on here lately. Getting prepared for winter, the whole 9 yards. But check this out. When you look at this too, this also looks like it's kind of, a lot of these things appear to be standing up. Like, you could look at this. Even these here, even laid out, the way they're laid out. Check this out. Looks like lower, higher, higher. These things are not, look at this, almost like a teardrop shape item sitting right there. Well, let's go back to this one. And you can see the way these things are laid out. These are not just laid out by chance. These are not just like asteroid or meteor strikes. These are things that are clearly on the surface. And the reason why you cannot see the detail in these is because these are radar images. These are not standard photographs. In fact, can I prove that? No. But going by the detail and the things I've seen in the other photos, this makes sense to me. Now, I try to brighten up a little. And what I did was, took the you can go right here to your dodge tool and just go into the midtones or the actual shadows. And what that means is you're going to end up bringing out the things that are dark areas. Just go over it real lightly. Just go over it lightly and you'll bring out the darker areas and you'll find the things that actually connect with each other. And you'll see like, oh, wow, well, that makes some more sense now. But look at this. It almost looks like it's high up off the ground. See this? Right here. And it looks like it almost has base with these little things are on the edge. But when you look at this thing, you just go, whoa, holy crap. It's like there's like a ground here and there's things underneath it. But you can see these things do not look like just simple, just strikes to the moon. Whether it be whatever slammed it, whether it be a comet or rather a meteor, whatever. I think we've been lied to enough, like you would not believe. Now check this out. What I decided to do is do the wide screen and stretch it out of here a bit to give you a better position. Almost looks like you're kind of lower to the ground. And I'm going to show you this. And you can get a better perspective. Now check this out now. You guys can when you get these photos, just have a look at this with a magnifying glass and just look this thing over because you're just gonna go, what? Yeah. Just jump out of here a little bit and just look at all of these things all over the ground here. This is not. Again, all of these little bright spots, I think, are a product of a radar penetrating kind of. Radio signal. And that's like a product of it, because when you watch that video I just told you about, how it shows radar image of the moon, you can just tell, wow, what the hell? This doesn't make any sense, man. And you can see these things all over the place. And they're not just in one area. They're all over the place. Here. I mean, everywhere you look, you see these round circles or these brighter spots. They're either A, lights, or B, they're just a shiny or just a byproduct, like I said, of this radar. Now, again, here's the other side, and check out there's so much detail in this thing. I mean, there's high levels, lower levels. There's, again, you gotta turn your head to the right, but check this thing out. It looks like a disc right here laying on the ground, and it clearly goes up like this. And it has almost like the old UFO movies, these movies you'd see, when it has like this weird dome type thing. Now watch when I take this off, right there. And like I said, you got to turn your head to the right because I can't, for some reason, the computer's not letting me turn this around. But again, you'll get the photos and you can just change them around in either Windows Viewer or Photoshop yourselves. Now, let me do this. Now, check this out. I'm going to put some filtering here. I went black and white, and then I put some filtering in here so we can try to pop out details better. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Back out a little bit, and check that out. There's a ton of stuff in here, but this only gets better. If you're saying, well, I'm kind of on the fence about that, I'm not really seeing it yet, Chris. Okay, how about this one? Let's jump over to this one here. This one gets bizarre. This one's wild because, and I'm going to show you this stuff right now, guys, without doing a thing to this photo. This is untouched, not messed with. Check this out. If anybody out there believes that this is simply just perfectly put, I mean, these are simply just craters in the ground, you're sorely mistaken. There's just no way in hell that these are. And the more you enhance this, you're just going to go, oh my God, there's just no way. You can go way back in the background here. There's something laying right here. And it's some kind of weird, pretty large structures. There's something in this area. Here. Not to mention this whole area in front here, guys. Oh my God, this is like, when you go over to this side, now it doesn't look like much now because what they do is, first of all, I believe, it's a radar image. Secondly, I think they're just washing it out. Now, watch this. Now, I'm going to back out a little bit. Now, check these things out. This whole area is completely full of structures. And that's just a small bit of the picture. That's not the whole thing. But check this out. These are literally standing off the ground with items on top. You can see that. This is not sunk in the ground. This is a fake piece of shit crater. These are fake. And when you go over to this, there's another large one over here somewhere. Where did I see this? Well, there's one here that's kind of looks like it's a crater, but it's actually off the ground. It's either they're making them look like they are structures, but they're not. Let me see something here. This is actually off the ground right here. This whole area. And when you look at this photo, there's a bunch of crap sitting on the top of that. Now, let's jump in the back. This thing gets bizarre. I mean, this is just wild. What the hell is that sitting right in the middle of this wannabe crater? Check that out. Almost looks like a freaking blow dryer for crying out loud. And it's got this round piece in it. And there's something else right here. You can see it being obscured right here. It's all been colored out, but check this out. Which one are we using here? Okay. You can see right here that it's going like this, almost like the shape of a tennis racket, but it's been fuzzed out. All of this brown shit has been added. That's been added to obscure what's really in this photo. There's tons of things to see here. Now, people again will say, well, Chris, I look through the telescope all the time. I never see this stuff. You're not going to if it's underground. If it's 30 to 50 feet underground, there's a big difference. You're not going to see this. Or some of this may actually, in fact, be on the surface. I don't know. Again, just more playing around that NASA's doing. Now, when we get down to this over here, again, I mean, you just start to see these things. Now, watch this. Let's get back into this. Let's go into it a little bit more. Now, I think, if we go up to the top here, whoops, go up to the top, and again, you can see this thing right here. But you can also see now when you enhance it, you've got something running like this. Like I said earlier, it's got that, but check it out. It comes out the other end. And there's something doing this. The problem is you cannot see this whole thing because this is being, you can see where it's in it, in the manipulation. So there's no way of actually seeing this unless you actually get into the photo. You literally have to burn this crap away and then use the dodge tool to brighten up the areas that are supposed to be brightened up. Now, again, when you look at this right here, this looks like a standard crater. But when you enhance it, guess what happens? It clearly looks like it's off the ground. It doesn't. It looks like there's space underneath it. Like that's not a crater. It's been added in there. Now, let's say it is. That's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. But now when you jump down, these are not simple craters. This whole bunch right here is not just craters. You can see the structures in it. All in here. And there's things on top of it. You can clearly see that. This one almost looks like a teardrop type thing. With looks like a dome on the top. I mean, come on. There's something in here, and you can actually see the shape of that going like this. But I'm going to bring that a little bit more. These little triangle kind of shaped things were not there. But guess what? They are. They are, in fact, all of these objects are here. They're there. They're just, it's washed. This is the reason why you cannot see these photos, the stuff in the photos, because they're washing these photos out. All right, let's keep going. I want to make it too long. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the raw part of this photo and see what we can find. Whoa, what the hell? These are clearly not just simple craters. I'm going to back out a little bit. And when you take a look around this photo, I mean, these things are everywhere. I mean, absolutely everywhere. Check this one out. Was it this one? Whoop. Let's go down to this one, see what that does. Okay. Check this out. Yeah, because I always see craters doing this here. Look at this. With some kind of structure or something, or multiple structures on top, going down into this other piece here. Check these things out. They're not craters. There's things on top of them. And people will argue, well, you don't understand. The crater's going to leave, you're going to have ejector on the sides, which you don't see on either one of these, or any of these for that matter. And you're going to have the rock in the middle, whatever slammed into the... No. These are clearly above the ground. They look like platforms. And you can see this one here. In fact, I just did this. Whoop, my bad. Looks like this one's actually got like little legs to it. If you look at it closely, you can see that. Multiple structures running inside this. Going under here. Look at it. Looks like different... Look at this. All the way around. Yeah, okay, that's normal. That looks... Come on now. Look at another one. You can clearly see these things have a sharp edge. In other words, it's not a crater. And you can start to see this start to come out a little bit more. Now, well, let's keep going with it. Now, what I do is I brought up any darker spaces to try to fill in the photo, so to speak. In other words, just try to brighten up the darker areas to see what we can find. And you can see this thing now is starting to come out. And this thing is this has been all completely taken out. You can see it right here. It's all been completely mashed out. I was able to bring this out with the dodge tool and bring out anything that has a light signature in it. It will come out. I mean, that's pretty much the way it goes. Okay. Again, you've got these. Let's go to the right. This is what's puzzling. Check this one out. Right here, and something is clearly over the top of it. You can see it's darker on this part of it, but it's overhanging this part, showing a shadow. See that? And it might actually go like this too, but it looks like it's going like this and coming around. So, I mean, come on, guys. Look at this. It's everywhere you look in this photo. Again, these. This one. Everywhere. And these just happen to be these flat surfaces. They're everywhere you look. These are not, and I've said it a million times. Check this one out. This one gets more bizarre. Yeah, that's a crater. Check that out. It's clearly coming out, going like this. And you can see it's designed. It actually has this darker area, which looks like some kind of weird dome thing at the top of that. Really? And it almost looks like it has levels to it, almost like if it was a giant staircase in the front of it. Come on, guys. I mean, we've got to start opening our eyes here. Here, look at this thing. Looks like a structure. Looks like it's on some kind of hill. Okay, let's move over to here because this gets more and more bizarre. Looks like a whole bunch from sitting right here. Check this thing out. Yeah, that's a crater. And here's the funny part. These things are actually in the photo. It's right here. But it's washed. Once you've gotten through all that garbage and brought it down, then you can just go over again with your dodge tools. And I don't go like this, like drawing lines. I literally go like this. Just scribble over it. I'll put like a lot bigger area to brush and just go over it. And anything, again, has a light signature will pop out. That's all there is to it. So, and then we go up here and check this thing out. These weird, creepy looking things that are all over the surface of this is there. Let me go back to black plate and check this out. Yeah, something tells me, guys, this is clearly not... let's go way down to that. This stuff right here, that's not standard craters. It's just not going to happen. And the more you get... I mean, you can just look at the details, guys. Again, when you get these photos, and I still got the others to add for my other video, you just... I mean, look at this. Check that out. Look at these all in right in here. 1, 2, a larger structure here. Look at the way this thing's... The ground is on this. I mean, really? Look at this. Something really large sitting right there. Another one. Another one. But what's funny about it is look at the ground they're sitting on. Almost like a rectangular shape. See that? Right here. They almost look like roadways in different parts of land. Now, people will go, well, there's no way in hell because they wouldn't be able to breathe there, and of course we'd be able to see them. Again, if you're talking about a standard photo. This is not a standard photo. This is the real deal. Now I'm going to go back. This is back in... What I do is I put black and white. And then what I did was I put the color photos on, and of course the blue and the yellow to bring out these details much better. And as you can see, these are, in fact, there. Now, I'm going to let you guys have a look at these things. And you guys, you guys look these over yourself and you tell me what you think. These, again, they're not standard photos. These are actually radar images. This is the reason why people, they're correct when they say it too. You think you're seeing these things, but they're not. Just get yourself a telescope and you'll clearly see that these are not there. Well, they are. They're in their photos. So here's the thing. If you don't believe that they're there, well then, if you're saying you can't see them, that's fine. But if you can't see them, that means that they're underground. They're not on the surface. Because you're right. If you're looking at this area, I believe this is Sea of Serenity, or Tranquility, rather. I think that's the way this is supposed to be at the time. When you look at this particular photo, you go, I've looked at it over many a times. I've never seen these details. You're correct. That's right. This is the reason why I believe these are hybrid photos, meaning either this is being superimposed, this eagle, and one of them said it was an artist rendition, which I don't believe that it is, but let's say it is, for argument's sake. I'm okay with that. If it is, I believe this is a radar image back. This moon itself is all radar image, and this is a regular photo being thrown over that. To give you the illusion, it is a normal photo, period, when it's not. They're putting this right over an actual radar image, and this is the reason why you can see what you see in these photos. It's just insane. And like I said, even if we put this as a standard photo, this is everywhere. This stuff is just absolutely everywhere. So anyway, guys, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I just want to show you, I think it's important that everybody knows this. Again, give me your thoughts. What do you think? Are these radar images, or are these, you believe they're standard photos? From what I went by on these here, it shows a lot of detail. And when I did this here to this radar image, you can see where it looks like it's got intelligently made areas. This is taken with radar image 33 to 50 feet below the surface. And when you look at this one here, and you see all the details, you can see the same thing here. It's the same details. So you just go, oh, well, what the hell gives here then? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Well, it does. It's not a standard photo. This is the reason why you can't see these things. Well, with the telescope, you can't see them. But when you look at these things over, and like I said, you see all these little pieces, you can clearly see this one's actually standing up. You can see that. Well, let me go back to the wide range, the wide one here. Right here. It looks like it's standing up off the ground. Look at these things. They literally look like they have levels to them. See them? So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Give me your take. Let me know what you think. And, you know, like I said, when you get these photos, have a good look at this with a magnifying glass. Check these things out really good. That's a standard photo. So people say, well, you're cheating because you're widening it. No, I'm just giving you a better perspective. I think it actually brings it down lower so you can see this thing a lot better. And by seeing this, like I said, where have we seen these before? Like I said, you go to the photos I've done on, check this thing out. I mean, what the hell is that? It has a slot, and a nice dark round circle right in the middle of it. Yeah. Whoops, that didn't come out too good, did it? Right here. Seriously? Yeah, I think not. But again, I'm not going to take up too much of you guys' time. I mean, like I said, I had people telling me, you know, you need to just get a telescope. I've looked through telescopes, and they're right. I have never seen the detail that you see in these photos, like I showed you about the radar image of Sea of Serenity. That was that one that I had done the video on. This is supposed to be a Sea of Tranquility that the Eagle is ascending from. So, or it's ascent. You know, it's literally coming back up to the Columbia. But anyway, guys, give me your take on it. This is the absolute truth. I believe these are hybrid photos. The moon itself is actually not a standard photo. It's an actual radar image, and I think most of them are. Some aren't, but I believe most of them are. And then they're superimposing these, whether it be the command service module or the Eagle itself, the actual module. Or the capsule, rather. And I think they're just being superimposed to give you the idea it's a standard photo, when it's clearly not. And if people go, well, then those photos are not even real at all. Well, again, don't shoot the messenger. Ask NASA. You can actually email NASA and say, what's the deal here? I mean, what are you doing? And there's supposed to be 8,412 of these photos, guys. You got to ask questions. It's as simple as that. And when you do, keep pressuring these guys. Something's got to give. These things are going to, you know, the information's got to get out. But, I mean, like I said, when you see this photo and you go, oh, okay, why am I not seeing the details on this left photo in this right one? Because you're not going to. This is a standard photo, well, within reason, and it's been manipulated, and you can clearly see the pixelation and, you know, graininess of the photo, but yet you can see this airbrush, or it looks like something's over it, like a cloud, over that area. And you can see that, but yet you can't see these details here. Why? Look at Posidonius crater right here on the right. Look at it over here on the left. You're telling me that looks like just a standard lunar ground? I don't think so, guys. That clearly looks intelligently made, but yet we don't see it here on the right. This is what we see with our telescopes. So this is the reason why when we're seeing these kind of details in these photos, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a radar image. You're not seeing the actual photo or above ground. You're seeing below it. Anyway, guys, not going to keep you much longer. This has been long enough. I do appreciate you watching. Share the video. Throw a thumbs up. And most of all, throw your comments down below and give me your take, what you think is going on. Always glad to hear it. But anyway, guys, got some cool ones for you still coming up. I got some pictures to add still up on Google+. So look for them up there. And got some more moon ones coming up. More Mars. Just stay tuned. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciated. See you next picture or video.